today? I hope you're having a beautiful, I can't believe it's already Wednesday. Is it Wednesday or Tuesday? Where are we at here already? Tuesday. They're talking so much about this Wednesday snowstorm coming that's what I got on my mind. And so today I want to share a few things with you. Now, for those of you who work with wool and you're needle felting and you're doing some projects with me, a couple things I want to share with you. The wool that I got yesterday at the Ash Grove farm. Now over on my side channel, Vermont Sun and Shade. Look at the colors here. I'm going to take these out in a minute. At Vermont Sun and Shade, the I take a video of the sheep, okay, and I'm going to put it here too on Echo Art with Carmella, with us here. So I'm just sorry, I'm just trying to get oriented this morning. I've been working on some things. So okay, so the wool, if you're needle felting, what I love about Ash Grove Farm, and I'm going to put the video, a different video here on it, but I'm going to also give you the link so you can get to her website, because you can buy different types of wool from her. And right now, this time of year, you know, they're gearing up for spring to do more sharing, but kind of winding down on the wool. But so this, Chris puts the name, does she put the name? Yeah, she puts the name, like she names her sheep. She keeps the name of the sheep with the wool that she sells you. So this one is Hawthorne. Okay, that's the sheep's name here. And let me just move my coffee. I hope you're all doing beautifully today. Look, I can't wait to needle felt this. I'm going to make another bear. And we're going to make, now the mice that I used to make, I dressed them up. And I used to make kind of weird characters, and I made them small and I dressed them. I'm going to make more of those and get those out and into stores, you know, to be sold. So I'll tell you where they're going to be, but when they get there. Look how beautiful that is. So that's that's Hawthorne. That's from her sheep Hawthorne. And this, I don't know, I probably didn't get the names of the sheep here. But look how beautiful green this is. Is that lovely? Now, January, if you are local or you're coming up to Vermont, January 29th, we're doing a, I am teaching a mixed media. Now, not mixed media in separate parts of the artwork or art piece being different media, but mixed media with needle felting and different ways that you can do it, okay? And what you can do with it. And so here's the purple. Is that just beautiful? Okay. So I wanted to share that with you for those of you who are needle felting out there. I will, I have the link right now, is on my other channel, Vermont Sun and Shade. Now, I also picked up my art piece the other day, and this was an interactive piece I made, needle felted. I did this very quickly because because of the time, but I want to actually disassemble this and spend a little bit more time on it. So in this basket, I had put these little mushrooms. So these will be in stores also, you know, not world, nationwide, talking local. Okay, here's another mushroom. And so people, I was told, people were really enjoying this. And it was meant to be interactive. I just put pieces, different pieces, you know, the leaves in here. These were free-form sewn. You see, just going all different directions. So those are the leaves I put in. And then I had needle felted just, you know, a couple of these, an orange, an apple, and a plum. And this was supposed to be, well, it is. I just kind of want to revisit this mushroom, but it's a little mushroom in a little shell. Isn't that cute? So that's my interactive. I'm going to leave the mushrooms out. The interactive piece. Oh, and what I did here, and this is a little bit what we're going to be covering in the class. You see how this is wood? Okay, so this is wood and wool. The handle is just gorgeous. I'm going to disassemble the handle on this basket. I want this basket needs to be, actually, it needs to be thicker, okay? For the sake of just getting in the art show, it was thick enough. It is thick enough, but I had also very lightly wet felted, so it's primarily needle felted, but you can mix your methods. You can mix your methods, and it's certainly not going to hurt anything. If anything, it just reinforces the piece. And so what I had done is just wet a little bit because I wanted the wet felted look, and you can see clearly here. What's that? Something's hanging there. How it kind of felted in. You can tell the wet felting from the dry felting. So I wanted to share that with you. And these little eggs were in there too. And I'm going to be making more of these for the little springtime. Okay, now, so again, the wool that I got in Vermont, and the name of the website is Ash. It's one word, Ash, A-S-H. Another word, Grove. Ash Grove Farm, and then VT.com. Okay? That's the name of the website. And you go to the website, you'll see all different types of wool that Chris has for sale. Now, you know, we were working on our Kawandi piece the other day, and I finished it, so I just want to share. I was going to put twine for the little hanger here, and what I decided to do was just put a couple stitches here for this pretty fabric ribbon that I just love. And first I had these were way too big, and it was actually taking away from the piece. So I just made them a little smaller. So now I just wanted to show you something. This can actually be folded. I just want to show you into a little coin bag. I wouldn't leave these on like that, but I just wanted to show you that. But this is a Kawandi piece, so if I was making like a coin bag, I might make these rounds a little closer. So this is our Kawandi inspired piece we did together, and I just wanted to show that this morning. So with that, we're going to crochet. So, you know, we did the Starburst granny square on this channel, and I did it over on the TikTok platform. We may do it again because it was coupled with a couple of other projects. We were doing some other things on there. So this morning, I think what we're going to do is get my crochet needles over here. Okay, and I think what I'm going to do, we're not going to put it in a square, but we're going to take, because we're working on a mandala piece. Now I felt like I wanted to, This was the piece we worked on the other day, and I actually skipped a space. And I thought that I did, but I wasn't sure. But it didn't even make a difference in it, really. So because it's a demo, I'm just going to leave it. But I had skipped my space of my double crochets. I accidentally skipped right here. Right here, I missed it. I missed the space, but it didn't really make a difference. But I was looking at it saying, well, what's going on? But sometimes that happens. You can go back. I make such a knot, and I had woven my tail so securely that I can't even find it, but I know it's in there. But these are just gorgeous. I just really, really love this whole pattern of the sunburst um, granny square. But what we're going to do is just kind of start like the beginning of it, and it'll give you a little practice in making a mandala. Hi, thank you so much. Yeah, it is crochet. And this morning, to give you a little practice on starting to memorize the sunburst granny squares, many variations of this. Most of them are the same. You know, this I just had made up the other day myself with you, but I just think it's so darn pretty. Isn't that gorgeous? This can be put into, I think it can, I'll have to count my loops, but we can make that into a granny square. And here's some smaller ones. But the project, this I love very much. I love that combo. So I'm going to just get this yarn out. And here's and you know, we did our triangle granny squares. Let me just show you. This is my favorite, right? I love this. We're going to be doing more of those, but this morning, because we started the project, and I said I would be done with it by New Year's, but you know, I was in transition here, and to get closer to my art venues, and so I had a lot of time behind the scenes that I was taking on that. So with that, what we need to do, and then I jumped from project to project based on some questions that people had. So this morning we're going to do a creative or intuitive crocheting, but we're going to kind of take some of the stitches at the beginning from our sunburst, because look, the sunburst granny square is a circle in a square. Isn't that lovely? So we're just gonna take some of the stitches from that so you can start learning the stitches in a very simplistic and repetitive way of making a mandala. Okay, for our mandala blanket. So that blanket, today is Tuesday, and I think our blanket will be pretty close to being ready to be assembled by this weekend. I mean, we could work a little quicker. But now, the this is a thing that I don't, and I know I sound like a miser when I say this, but when I donate to a thrift shop, I expect them to keep the prices at at a price that others, you know, will buy it, and so it doesn't go in the landfill. And they're marking up the yarn so high in some of these thrift shops. This is very, very lightweight. It's so lightweight, and it's acrylic, and most of it was not even a quarter of a skein. But anyway, so kind of watch for that. A lot of times if you ask them, hey, this doesn't seem, like, can you bring it down for me, just so it may not make a difference for you in your pocket, But if it does make a difference for you in your pocket, ask them, because I've had times in my life where it made a huge difference, and I needed to buy my supplies and then so I can sell them, and it did make a difference. But anyway, with all that said, this is a heavier weight, so I'm going to use that. This is so light, and I'll use that. And this is an okay weight, but this was $1.99, and a lot of it's knotted, and it's not a heck of a lot. You see what I mean? I don't know. I would say $1, but just call me a cheapskate. I'm ready for it. Okay, so let me just get some here. All right, so let's just start right smack in the middle. Let's use the sunburst granny square numbers, okay? So let's use the numbers, which are 16. So, but if you start with a chain 3, you're going to do 15 double crochet. You start with a double crochet, you're going to do 16. Okay, so we'll start with, we'll do the chain because it's just clearer, just tells us when we're back. So this, when we're at the beginning, at the end. Okay, I'm just looking at this yeah, this is my J hook. Okay, so we're going to, I like to chain 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Some people do 4, and some people pull it tight. I like the center open a little because it gives me the sense of a flower. I just love it. So, okay. And so we just connected our chain. Now we're going to chain 3. 1, 2, 3. And that counts as your first double crochet. So now you're going to do 15 double crochets, okay? 1, 2, right smack in the center, by the way, if I didn't say that, okay? 3, this is thrift shop yarn that I had gotten. 4, I think that's 4, 5. Oh, before I lose my count, I did this the other day too. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Okay, now a couple things I just want to point out here. We're making a mandala, okay? We're making just the round part of the sunburst granny square. The numbers of the 16 are important because when you get to the end, you need those spaces to get these 4 corners, to have these stitches make sense and to fit the circle in making a square. We're not making the square today, we're just doing a mandala. But by learning this mandala, it's gonna help you a lot, because this is if you can get through the mandala, if you can get through the circle part of it, this is going to be much easier to learn and to do. Okay, but that's what we're doing today is we're just doing the mandala, but we're using the numbers. So at the end, not at the end, but if you want to do make them into sunburst granny squares, you can. And I'll show you that. I'll show you that. Well, I did show you that in the last video, and we'll do more videos on that. Okay, we will. So I just want to count my posts again. I want to make sure. So if you're doing your granny square, you want to make sure this part, right? You see this part? This is the post. You want to make sure that there's 16 of those. So, and you're in or uh, I should say count your chain and then 15. Okay, count chain is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Whoops. Chain, I'm sorry. 1, 2, 3. Okay. So here's your chain. I just want to show those for those of you who don't know. So your chain is up here. 1, 2, 3. That's the top of your chain. See it? That counts as 1. That's your 1 post. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay, perfect. So now I'm going to, because this way I can come back on these mandalas and I can turn them into sunburst granny squares if I want to. Okay, so now I'm just going to connect it to the top of the chain. Now, the second round, okay, so I'm just going to pull this through, get rid of my tail, get rid of the tail so we can work a little bit here. And this is like a little prototype that I'm making. I do prototypes, you know, I don't take the first one and say, okay, I'm selling it. I don't. I like to study it. I like to make sure it's structured and made well and look the way I want it to look. I do. I probably take way too much time. I mean, for make and sell, I'm not that person, but I am the artist and I do like to create, but I should be selling some stuff. Yes, I should be. Okay, now the next, what we're going to do is we're going to work in our posts right here. You see the post? Okay, so we're going to work in those. And right here, it's a post. Okay, so I'm going to pick a different color so we can see good here. I'm gonna go with white because the next round are puffs. Okay, we're gonna do the puffs. And this is just a really good way to practice because it's a mandala in a square. That's what it is. Whoops, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get my yarn. Here we go. I hope everyone's doing well today, you beautiful artisans working on your work. This is a nice time, and any time of year is a great time to work on our artwork. And I, like many of you, are inspired by the seasons. It just is. Okay, so I'm going to go in. Now to make a puff, for those of you who don't know, first make your slip knot. Okay? That's the first thing you want to do is make your slip knot. Now what you're going to do for a puff is you're going to put the yarn around. You're going to go through the same space. Pull up. Now with the puff, you want a little height. So you pull it up. Okay, you're pulling the yarn up. You're going around again. You're going through again. You're pulling yarn up again. And you're not doing anything with it right now. So you're just pulling it all up. That's why I love the puffs. Seriously. So put the yarn around, go in the same space, pull it up. So you do that 3 times, but guess what? You can do it 4, you can do it 5, however big you want the puff to be. And you can pull it way up also, okay? You can even change the size hook. Maybe you want teeny tiny little puffs and you only want to do it 2 times. You know what I mean? So you choose how many times you want to pull. You wrap the yarn around, you go through, you pull it up. Okay, do that 3 times for this particular puff that we're making. Then the last thing you're going to do is put yarn around and pull that all the way through. You see, and now you want to connect it because you got to close the puff. You see, how adorable is that? No chain required. Go to the next one. Pull up, yarn around, pull up, yarn around, pull up, yarn around, pull all the way through, close it. The next one, or next post, yarn around, go in our next post, pull the yarn up, yarn around, pull the yarn up, yarn around, pull the yarn up, pull the yarn, put the yarn around, close your puff. You see, look how pretty. Now, like this one granny square, where is it? I don't know where I put it, over here, yeah. Like this one, I completely missed a whole stitch, and I never would have known it. I knew something was off, but it looked so adorable. I'm like, oh my gosh, I actually missed a stitch. But if you put it next to maybe this one, I don't know, there's no real difference, honestly. It was just one stitch. That's why, probably. Okay. So anyway, back to the puffs. So yarn around, go through your next space, pull your yarn up. You see you have 3 on the hook. Okay, yarn around again, go through the same space, pull your yarn up. Okay, now you have 5. Yarn around again, same space, pull the yarn up. Now you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7. Yarn around. Now you don't go through anymore, you're just going to pull through all of those little loops and you're going to do a slip stitch to connect. Okay, no chains. We go right into our next post. We're going to wrap the yarn around, pull the yarn up. Wrap the yarn around, go through again, pull it up. Wrap the yarn around, go through the same space, pull it up. Okay, and that's how we do our puffs. And you're not, oops, did I go through my post? Yeah, I guess I did. I don't know if I did go through my post. Whoop, it's okay. The finches, let me tell you what's going on really quickly for those of you interested in the finches. So apparently February is the month. If they're going to mate, they mate. So I think one is a little older than the other. Anyway, there's a little aggression going on there. Not too bad. If it gets bad, guess what? I have to separate them. You know why? Finches, like human beings, choose their own partners. And these guys were partnered. When they're partnered, they may be completely incompatible. Anyway, I am going to talk more about that over on Vermont Sun and Shade. So anyway, you do this 3 times, and that's how you make a puff. No chains in between. So look, I'm going to show you again here for those of you just joining us. So to make a puff, to make the puff stitch, which is just adorable, You put yarn around, go through your space, pull up yarn. Pull it up enough height so that you get your puff has enough height. Yarn around again, same space, pull your yarn up again. Yarn around again, same space, pull your yarn up again. And then wrap around and pull all the way through and close it with a slip stitch. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay. Now, if we're following the pattern of the Sunburst Granny Square, we want 16 puffs. So we want to make sure. So 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. I'm going to have 16. I just counted ahead. I just want to make sure. Okay. Simply just yarn around, pull through yarn, yarn around, pull through yarn. You do that 3 times in the same space, yarn around, you pull the hook all the way through all of your little loops, and then simply connect them with a slip stitch. I guess you could connect them with a single crochet if you wanted. Yarn around, pull through the yarn in the next space, yarn around, pull through the yarn up on your hook, same space, yarn around, pull through the hook, same space, yarn around, connect. Now I'm doing it 3 times, but you don't have to. You can do it more. It just makes the puff a little puffier. So now we're just continuing our puffs. And does anybody have any questions on the puffs right now? And you notice we're not doing chains in between. And I really like that about this particular pattern. And this was by ARNDT. The patterns are all over the internet. Slight variations, but, and I actually have amended this to fit my own little style. And because there's certain ways that she's connecting at the end that I'm not doing it that way. And that's where she's crossing over the, and I'm doing it sometimes, but she crosses over the last stitch and then connect, kind of like I'm not used to that, but I mean it works. I mean it does. Okay, so let's make sure, whoops. Just practice this type of mandala so you get this down, because this is your sunburst. Just get it, practice it before you're all frustrated in trying to do the sunburst and then trying to do the square. Because the square, the reason you want to get the circle part of your sunburst down really well is because the 16 stitches make a big difference. Okay. Oh, I don't think I did 3 there. Yeah. Okay. Now we're gonna count the puffs. Let's make sure. Now you see how you have a space there too? Let me just show you. You see the space? Don't get nervous about it. Count your puffs. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So I have 16. Don't get nervous about the space. Don't try to do an extra puff. You've got 16. That's right. So now what you're going to do, what she did, is she crossed over. I'll try to show you this here. I'm going to put she crosses over this puff, the last puff. She crosses over and she does a slip stitch. That's how she did it. I'm not so sure. I mean, it looks so lovely though. So that's how she did that. Now, I just found that I was curious about that because I usually will connect it to the top of the last stitch there. Okay, so now let's just get let's get these tails tucked away here. And do the next round of the clusters, because that is another little bit confusing, because like I've been saying, the clusters, okay, and I'm guilty of this too. I used the word cluster, and people do, and they do. When I did 3 double crochets in a row, and I was teaching the granny square. Where is it? Oh, I can't find my little granny square now. But I was teaching you the granny square, and I kept saying, okay, now 2 sets of 3 double crochet. And I said 3 double crochet clusters. Okay. There were 3 separate double crochets. It's not a cluster, but we kind of use it, we kind of say it. This is a cluster. Let me show you. So now we're going to do clusters. Okay, the next row. So a cluster, pick a space, any space, because you're going to work in your spaces. Now this is where I missed a space on this one. So you got to be careful. After I think it was after I did my clusters, I missed a space. So, okay, let's use, this is extremely pretty color. I've got to get more of these. I'm just wild about the spring colors right now. For those of you coming in late, this is our finished Kwandi piece, by the way. So we're going to do some minis of those. Anyway, we'll focus on this project. Okay. So now the clusters are, what a cluster is, first of all, it is not a treble either. It is not a treble. Okay, it is 1 double crochet into the next unfinished. That's what a cluster is. 3, this is where I changed this a little bit also. Arndt, A-R-N-D-T, who I love the way she taught the Sunburst Granny Square. So what she did was 4 double crochet clusters. Okay, by the time I get to the 4th one, I'm like, it's too much for the space for me. And I personally just love the look of the 3 cluster double crochet. Let me show you the 4. This is the 4. I mean, I just love the delicate little pretty. This is the 4. The deep purple, that's 4. So you can do that if you want. But for this, what I'm going to do is 3. So what you're going to do is first do your little slip knot, okay? And then do your traditional 1, 2, 3, and then you're just going to do 2. Like you're going to start your double crochet, pull it through twice. You just started it. Now typically you would go around again and pull it through, right? You're not going to do that. You're going to pull it around. You're going to go in, you're going to pull it up, and then you're going to pull it through all the way. And that's just a cluster, because that's how I do it. So again, we're going to do it again. So we're going to go around again, go in our next space. Now we can do 3. Okay, pull through twice, go around, pull up, pull through twice, go around, pull up, go around and pull all the way through and close it. That's 3 double crochet cluster, okay? And because you're not finishing, that's the only thing. Every time you want to finish it, don't finish it. Just go back in the same space and start another double crochet and pull through 2. That's how you do it. So wrap around. There's our space. Pull it up, wrap around, pull through 2 times, wrap around, go back through, pull it up, pull through 2, wrap around, go back through, pull it up, wrap around, finish it up, close it. There's your clusters. You're just not finishing it, that's all. That's all that it is. You're just keeping the double crochets connected while you're working. You know, you're not closing it off. No chains in between. Wrap around, pull it up, pull through 2, wrap around, pull it up, pull through 2, wrap around, pull it up, close it. So it's just 3. We're just, look how pretty it is. Look how pretty. Okay. So when you're working this type, it's a little complicated. If you miss a stitch here and there, it may not be evident. You may not even catch it. You may not even realize it. If you miss it here and there a lot, it will become very noticeable. It could put off your whole project. So, but anyway, no chains in between. We're just working the spaces. And we're working a double crochet. We're just not finishing it. And we're pulling through 2. And we're just doing 3 of them. But the one thing you have to do is close it. So you do have to do that one little slip knot there. And then just go to the next space. And it's just like, you're just not finishing the double crochet, that's all. You're just not finishing it. And you're going to the next one. Yarn over, pull up. Yarn over, pull through 2. Yarn over, pull up. Pull through 2, yarn over, pull up, yarn over, pull through all. Connect. And my tension was looser here. And then I did that here too. The tension's small. You see? So pretty. It's so pretty. Anyway, if you guys have questions on this, I'm just going to kind of stay with you here to the end. I'm hoping I'll have 16. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. It's going to come out 16 perfect. Once you start with the 16, take your time with the posts when you're doing your puffs. Take your time, because once you get the puffs, you get 16 puffs, then you're just working in the spaces, like literally all the way around, even when you get to your little square. Okay, so I'm going in my next space. I'm doing clusters of 3 double crochet. That's how I'm doing it. I'm doing my 3 double crochets. Oops, I pulled through. See, you want to pull it all the way through the end. It's so easy to want to do that, but it doesn't call for that. So can you do 3 separate crochets here? You can, but I tried it. It's going to change the whole look of it. It really is. It's not going to look like the adorable little flower or daisy that is coming out. It's not going to look like it. because I tried it. I mean, you could. It doesn't mean you can't. You just have to make sure you have your that your you would be counting 3 double crochet in each space. We're crocheting a mandala to continue, to continue working on our chakra mandala blanket that we're making. But this is what we're doing. Hold on. The way we're doing it, what we're doing, for those of you who want practice with the stitches that are in the sunburst granny square, we're doing that. We're doing the same count. We're doing the same stitches. That way you get practice making a mandala and getting ready to do your granny square. Because once you get your little circle done, doing the square is not difficult at all. And I wasn't going to do the square today, but if you're interested and you want to do the square, we can do it. Is anybody out there working with me? You want to do the square? We did do the square on the last video. We did do it. But this just kind of gives us a little practice with the stitches that we need to make this beautiful sunburst granny square. Anyway, we can leave it as the circle because we need circles. We need our mandalas. We do need our mandalas. And we're almost done. We're on our last cluster. Now this is, I think, where I had skipped a space last time. So I'm going to make sure I count them. Okay. So I'm just going to count. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So we've got 16. Now, like I said, you got a space there. Don't let that make you nervous. What you're going to do is you're going to come over. Now, there's a couple ways you can do this, I believe. You can attach just at the top of your next of the last space there, of the last stitch, or you can cross over like the way she did. I just want to test that. And like that just kind of brings it together. Can you see it? Let me just slip stitch this. Whoops. Oh, I did something. Hang on. There's let me take that apart. There's a stitch. The tail is creating havoc here. Okay, actually, I feel like what I'm going to do, because my tension changed. So there's a couple ways. Yeah, you can attach it right to the top, which would be the normal way to do it. Or you can go into the back here of that last space and do that. I think I'm just going to do this. But, oh, I know why she does that now, because of the spacing, maybe. Let me try it again here. Okay. Yeah, I guess that's okay. I feel like there's a space there that shouldn't be there, though. I guess that's okay. That's very pretty. Yeah, see, okay, you know what? This is what I'm going to do for me. I'm not liking the cross over to the next space. I'm not liking it. So I'm simply going to attach at the top of the next stitch. That's typically how I do it. That's how I feel comfortable doing it. Okay. So, again, like I said, there are different variations to these, to your crocheting. There just are. And there are, because people find intuitively and creatively how to do things their own way. Now, is this an intuitive or creative? I said it was going to be. Now, in the way that we're not going to finish the mandala like the granny square that we did in the last video, which is like this, the sunburst. I want to add something around this. This is so pretty. It just is so pretty. I want this to look more like a flower. So this is what I'm going to do. I need to pick, I'm going to pick a darker pink. Yeah, I'll pick this rose color, because to me, this looks like a rose. Oop, I don't even need to cut that. Let's see. Hopefully this... Okay, do this one. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to do a slip knot here. And I'm simply going to do chains. And I'm just going to make nice little, kind of like a nice little ruffle around it. Okay, so let's make sure that's tight. 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to do 4. And then I'm going to skip a stitch. And I'm going to do a single crochet. And I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip a stitch and do a single crochet. You see my little, kind of little ruffle like that? And now I'm going to chain 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'm going to skip a stitch and do a single crochet. 1, 2, 3, 4. Just because I feel like I want to give it a little lacy effect. 1, 2, 3, 4. Now if I want my little ruffles to come out more, I can make the chain longer. Is that just lovely? Now I'm staying consistent and I'm just skipping a stitch. Is this part of a pattern? No. Now we're being a little bit more intuitive. Okay, I'm going to skip a stitch, do a single crochet, and then chain 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Skip a stitch, do a single. Why am I doing a single instead of a slip knot? Because the single gives it more definition. So it looks like I was closer here on my, oh, I guess that's all right. If it relaxes a little, that's fine. Okay, so yeah, I seem to be a little bit closer here on my stitches. 1, 2, 3, 4. Not too much, but look how pretty this is. This, oh, this just, now the other thing we're going to do here is a rose right smack in the center of the granny square. Yes, Eva. Martin Stewart, shout out to Eva, shout out to Eva. What's your website, Eva? She does crocheting. She's asking for a shout out. What's your website? Okay, so we're almost done with this, but this is where your creativity comes in. Does it always, doesn't, I'm not against patterns. I'm not, because the way we did the beginning of our beautiful granny square, sunburst granny square is from a pattern. That's what this is from. But then when we get to a certain point, maybe we decide, we want to do some creativity of our own. 2, 3, 4. And I'm still skipping a stitch. And anyway, so this is just another beautiful meditative mandala to add to our, it's a chakra meditation piece. And in this particular, we have the colors of the red. This is of red. Pink is of red origin. And then the light blue with the throat chakra being honest. And let me make sure I connect this here. Being honest with what's in your heart. You know what I mean? Look how adorable that is. Is that just not beautiful? So I am just happy to add this to the, it almost gives me, I'm going to be honest, it almost makes me feel like this one, because this, like when I was making this, we started this chakra mandala blanket, started making the pieces. I felt like this was dull. And I was saying that I didn't like the dull green. And to be honest with you, I feel like I could just, make a bunch of these mandalas and pick out the prettier, lighter, brighter colors that are in the colors of the chakra. Chakra red is protection and safety. Orange, and it goes by red like this, but if we're using a rendition of red, I'm happy with that. I'm going to be honest. Red, and then orange is your inspiration and motivational color in your chakra. And then the next one up is a yellow. And even the yellows that I was using here, I'm not crazy about. So I'm still shopping for, in the thrift shops, looking out for the chakra colors. And so we can complete this beautiful mandala blanket. But yellow is confidence, empowerment, and enlightenment. And don't let anybody ever degrade you or take away your confidence, ever. Next one up is green. And this kind of teal could even fall in that. It could fall in that area or in the light blue. But the teal is your heart, and it's compassion, and it's being understanding and grateful for what you have. So many people skip right over that until they don't have what they had, and then they're like, oops, I wasn't very grateful. I didn't even realize I had all that, whatever, like that. So green, and then light blue is speaking your words, because those emanate either negative vibrations or positive vibrations, truth and honesty and goodness. I'm not saying be brutally honest and hurt somebody's feelings. I go way back about 45 years, 50 years when I say that. I can remember a certain person. He was guessing someone's age, and it happened to be a relative of mine. And she was just the most beautiful person. And this person, he hurt her feelings so badly. And how it's being egotistical and thought he was it. And really hurt another person's feelings. I still remember that. I just can't get over it. I'm like, why would you do that? You know what I mean? Anyway, So yeah, and then the next one up is here, indigo. This is indigo, and that's your blue. I think this one I'll definitely keep in the pile of the mandalas for us to work in. You see, I just want the prettier color. So that's indigo. Your visions, your vibes that you pick up from others. Hi, Maria. Thank you. Eleanor, Benzie. Hi, guys. Thank you for being here today. Thank you. Thank you. Aren't they pretty, though? It really is the color. It is. And just the combo, just the brightness. And, um, and so, yeah. And then your crown chakra is like, purple, like this. It's like a purple. So, anyway, with that, I just wanted to get on here. And I know I have a few viewers who are very specifically watching this channel to follow the Mandala chakra project. So here we are. And my apologies for us just glad the holidays are over. I can't even tell you guys. I mean, I get it, the meaning and the love and the peace. I do. I get it. But it's a lot. It's kind of difficult nowadays with the way the weather was. And we have a storm coming in tomorrow here in Vermont. Another one. So, anyway, with that, I hope you have any questions, let me know. So just to recap, everything we did here, 16 double crochet, 16 puffs, and 16 double crochet clusters of 3. I did 3. The pattern calls for 4. You can do 3. All of this is the beginning and the circle of what we use for the sunburst granny square. So we'll do this again. We've done this granny square on this channel. It's not too far back. So look for it if you want to know how to do the trebles and to go around. It's not difficult. So anyway, with that, and in this one, just review it, Maria, because we did 16 of them in this video. So it's not difficult at all how to do the puff, and I show you how to do it. So with that, you have an absolutely beautiful day. If you want, I'll do a video on just the puff, okay? And I'm going to write that down. So we can do a video on just each of these stitches, and maybe that will help. So with that, you have a beautiful day. I send you love and light. Thank you. Thank you.